Broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hello, my name is Mike Willett with the National Native Network, a program of the Intertribal Council of Michigan. Welcome to the NNN webinar series on cancer risk reduction in Indian Country. This webinar is titled Pow Wow Sweat. This technical assistance webinar is being hosted by the National Native Network with the Indian Health Service Health Promotion and Disease Prevention, which offers technical assistance and resources for commercial tobacco and cancer prevention and control throughout Indian Country. Your presenter today is LoVina Louie, consultant and Coeur d'Alene tribe at Marimm Health. In 2017, she received her bachelor's in organizational sciences from the University of Idaho. The Coeur d'Alene tribe received a CDC REACH grant in 2015. LoVina Louie, an enrolled member of the Coeur d'Alene tribe, developed a revolutionary indigenous exercise program, Pow Wow Sweat. Pow Wow Sweat includes a warm-up, 8 powwow dances with step-by-step instructions, and a cool-down. The exercise program is available on Facebook and YouTube at ghestlife.com. The program was awarded Indian Health Services Leadership Award at the local and national levels and was invited to share the program with the Surgeon General at a national Native Youth Leadership Gathering. No commercial interest support was used to fund this activity. We will not be offering certificates for this presentation. By the end of this webinar, participants will be able to be better prepared to work with their community to find wellness in a culturally appropriate manner. If you have any questions, please type your questions into the question box on the lower right-hand corner of the screen. Questions will be answered during the last few minutes of the webinar. And now at this time, I will turn control over to LoVina Louie.
Thank you, Mike. Limlimch. Ahislatla incha isquis chestenma incha spaus telichest. Hello, my friends. My Indian name is Chestenma. My English name is LoVina Louie. I am very happy to be here with each and every one of you today. I am from the Sistichuams, which is the Coeur d'Alene tribe, the Insokchin Okanagan tribe, and the Snakes Lakes tribe of the Colville Confederated Tribes, as well as Mimipu Nez Perce from the Nez Perce tribe in Idaho. So I today am going to be presenting on Pow Wow Sweat and the Chest Life program. This is the first time I've done a webinar like this, so I'm excited to be able to have this opportunity. The Coeur d'Alene tribe, in collaboration with Marimn Health, is the program that I worked for when we developed Pow Wow Sweat. So what we are going to do in this section is, as you look at this picture and you see this young man in a canoe, I want you to think about, and I know some of you come from different places from across the United States, and so I just want you to think about your people and your tribe. I want you to close your eyes and imagine walking through a beautiful forest and feeling the ground and feeling the sticks underneath your feet, as if you were walking on the land with moccasins. You can hear the birds and you can hear the chipmunks and all of the animals talking to each other back and forth. And as you walk through this forest and you walk into a clearing, you see a village. And in this village, you see indigenous peoples. You see long, beautiful black hair. You see it wrapped in furs. The women are wearing buckskin dresses. The men are wearing buckskin. And you can smell the buckskin, and you can see mothers teaching their daughters how to tan hides. You can see fathers teaching their sons how to shoot a bow and arrow. You can see elders telling stories to the children. And you can hear them laughing and playing. You can smell the fire as the elk or the deer or the salmon is cooking on the open fires, drying, so that the people will have food to eat in the wintertime and throughout the year. And you look out onto the water and you see the people in canoes as they're paddling, as they're singing. And as you look into this home, you might see a grandmother, a yaya, as she's wrapping her granddaughter in a baby board. And you might hear a song. Way, wo, way, oh, way, wo, way, oh, way, oh. Way, wo, way, high. Way, high, way, 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 high, way, high, way, high, way, high, way, way, hey, oh, way, high, way, high, way, high, way, 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 high, way, high, way, high. Way high, way, hey, oh. Grandchild, walk in beauty. Learn our songs and our language. I pray that you will live a healthy, strong life. That you will pass on to your children and their children our songs and our way of life. That you will only take from Mother Earth what you need. A long time ago, our people only took from Mother Earth what we needed. When you think about that village, you can feel the love in our community, in our village, in our tribes. You can feel the love between a grandfather and his grandson, a mother and her daughter. You can feel the love that passed from generation to generation through songs, through tradition, through the knowledge that Creator gave to the people. So now, today, I want you to think about what you see in your community. What are the health disparities that your people are facing? Many of you have grants to help your people with suicide, with cancer, with diabetes, with heart disease, with alcohol and drugs and substance abuse. That's why many of you are here on this webinar, because you are trying to help the tribe that you work for, the tribe that you live in their community, in your community. But in order to do that, it's important to understand why we are the way we are. What happened to our people? And that's why I want to show this video, because it explains why our people suffer from so many health disparities across the spectrum, why we live in poverty, why we bury more people in a month than most Americans bury in a year in their lifetimes. Our people die every day. In my community right now, they're going to unplug a young man who attempted suicide. We face these challenges every day. And so our community made this video to help our young people, to help our community, to help all people understand why. Mike, can you play the video, please? Is it back? Oh, there we go. So the video that you just watched is called We Shall Remain. And the reason why I wanted to show this video to you is to just be able to help you understand what historical trauma is and how, as people who work in Native communities, how important it is to have an understanding of it as you go out to do the work that you do. And it's also just an incredible video to be able to show that we are still here and we are still moving forward. And it's important that we invest in our culture and our language, and we find out who we are so that we can build from a strength-based approach. And that's what we have tried to do at the Coeur d'Alene tribe, is to focus on our culture and utilize our culture to reach our community. And so what we, uh-oh, I lost. Sorry, I just lost. Sorry, I just somehow disconnected.
You should have control of the keyboard and mouse.
Okay.
Try it now.
Oh, there. Yeah, now it's back. I don't know what I must have pushed the wrong button. Sorry about that. So that's why we focused on, in our community, we looked at, how can we create a positive change, and how can we increase access to physical activity and healthy food, infusing our culture. And so we worked really hard and we developed Ches Life. And this is a picture of our website. It's www.cheslife.com. And we went with a focus of eat, do, honor. And so that's what you can see up here. And we have a canoe because our tribe hadn't had canoes for over 100 years. And when we did the first year of our grant, we brought back sturgeon nose canoes. And it was such an incredible awakening for our people to be back on the water in canoes. And it was a very, to this day, the Coeur d'Alene tribe has over 20 canoes of sturgeon nose, dugout, white pine bark. We just have a variety of canoes, more than any other tribe in our area. And so we focused our efforts, when we focused on the food, we focused on what do we eat. And in the Northwest, our diet was primarily salmon, deer, elk, roots, and berries. And so we looked at how can we bring back our traditional foods, because a lot of our people, we had lost even like how and when do you go gather traditional foods? When do you go dig roots? What are the berries that we pick? And we also not only focused on traditional foods, but we also focused on gardens and helping our people learn how to plant their own gardens. And it blew up into gardens and chickens and bees and fruit trees. And so our eat portion of our grant, it was amazing what we were able to do. But we also created a traditional food calendar. I don't have a picture of it here, but if you contact me, I can get you a picture. But our traditional foods calendar was an amazing collaborative project that we were able to do. So then when we went to focus on do, like what do we do, and we thought about the traditional activities that we did, that's when we came up with Pow Wow Sweat. And one of our objectives, I always hit the wrong button. One of our objectives was to have you utilize powwow dancing, and so we wanted to do that in a way that, you know, honored our tribe and honored, you know, tribal people in general. So you know, and there's a lot of powwow dances that are, you know, they have a lot of different meanings. So we tried to focus on, you know, the general powwow dances that most people do at powwows. And so that's, you know, but we also had included, you know, that a part of our culture is honor and respect, to honor and respect our elders, to preserve our language. That's why we titled our whole thing Ches Life, and, you know, which is in our language means good life. And everything we did, we tried to incorporate the Coeur d'Alene language as much as we could. And so we well, because it was a CDC Reach grant, we had funding for media, and that's what we developed. Our Facebook page, we developed the website, we developed content for our Facebook page, and for, you know, we just developed a lot of media content, because in today's day and age, so many people are on their phones. So we created digibites that talked about eat, do, honor, and respecting our warriors, and respecting our children, and respecting what we put into our bodies, and utilizing traditional forms of, like, this picture you see is a digibite, and it's like showing traditionally this was, you know, our way of life was in our moccasins and dancing. And in today's way, we have running and walking and exercising. And how can we infuse, you know, everything in our world together? So that's how we came up with that. And then, you know, we when we developed Pow Wow Sweat, initially we were just going to offer classes like Zumba, you know, but, you know, have powwow dancing. And the middle person, Shadeja Hodge, is, well, Abrahamson Hodge now, is the lead. She was our physical activity coordinator, and she was the one who did the choreographing. She's Navajo, Dene, and then everybody else is Coeur d'Alene, enrolled Coeur d'Alene tribal members. And starting from the back, you know, is on the left is my mom, and then Susep, and they were, at the time that we did the Pow Wow Sweat, they were in their 70s. So we tried to show not only of male, female, we tried to show a variety of ages. And so if you go on to so we have Pow Wow Sweat on Facebook, we have it on YouTube, we have it on the Style Horse Collective is the YouTube channel that it's on, but we have step-by-steps. So when we first launched Pow Wow Sweat, a lot of people contacted us from different tribes and said, we didn't even know how to dance. Like, I never danced at a powwow. Or we got contacted from people who were displaced from their home, and they were like, this is so awesome. I can learn how to dance and not feel embarrassed. And I specifically remember one elder who called from Oklahoma, and she said, I have diabetes, and all my brothers and sisters need Pow Wow Sweat. I'm bringing it to their house today, and we're going to do Pow Wow Sweat, and we're going to exercise. And she was just so grateful to have something traditional to do, to move and to exercise. And I think one of the greatest things about Pow Wow Sweat is that you can do it in moderation. So for one, we have step-by-steps. Two, we have, you know, when you do Pow Wow Sweat, you can do it intensely, or you can do it in moderation. And Shadeja does a great job in the step-by-steps of showing what would be moderation and what would be like a high intensity level workout. The other thing is we have the warm up, we have the step by step, we have the 8 dances, then we also have a cool down. So it encompasses an entire workout for you to do, and it's just a great way to exercise, and you can put it in your DVD player, you can play it on your phone, you know, just however you want to do it. So I have one video that we'll show you right now. So as you can see, the Pow Wow Sweat, I don't know if any of you guys jumped up at your computer and started doing it. If you did, raise your hand or let us know that you did Pow Wow Sweat. But we have just had a ton of success with Pow Wow Sweat. We were able to put it into our schools and use it for PE breaks, in our after school programs, in our summer programs. And pretty much everybody in our community received a DVD with all the dances, the warm up, the cool down, and it was just a great way for us to be able to infuse our culture into exercise. And a lot of people from our community posted videos of their little kids, like 3 and 4 years old, dancing to Pow Wow Sweat. It was just amazing. And the drum group, we have 2 drum groups. In the warm up and the cool down, we utilized our own tribal members who are Coeur d'Alene women, and they sing and they do the warm up in the beginning, and then at the cool down they also are in the cool down. And so they sing, they're called Rose Creek Drummers. And then for the 7 songs that we utilized in Pow Wow Sweat, we had contracted with Bear Creek. And so Bear Creek is a well-known drum group in the United States as well. And so it was just a really amazing project to bring together Bear Creek, Rose Creek, and all of the dancers. And we wanted to show people what it looked like for them to be in their regalia and to exercise in regular clothes. And that, it's the main idea is that it's exercise. So whether it's, fancy, traditional, crow hop, double beat, it's exercise, and it's to get you moving. And one of the things that we incorporate is language. So when you're doing Pow Wow Sweat, whatever your language is, you can incorporate it. So when you do the 8 counts, and it's what's amazing is you can just make it up yourself. Like you can look at the different moves, you can say, okay, well, or maybe you come from a tribe where they do stomp dance, or maybe you have a different form of dancing, and you can look at the muscles that you use in your dances, and you can come up with exercises, and you can count in your language. So when we're doing Pow Wow Sweat, we'll say Knox, Asil, Kaklis, Moose, Chilks, Takums, Sispel, Tim, Haknu, Upin. So we'll use our language so that when we're teaching, the kids are the community, they hear our language. And you can do jump, turn, just however you want to infuse your tribal language, you can. And I think the other awesome thing about infusing your culture is, let's say you come from a tribe that has canoeing. You can look at the muscles that you use to canoe, and you can come up with something similar. I just think it's something that is adaptable. You can adapt it to whatever your culture is. If you have shinny or any of the other traditional games from your tribe, look at that and just figure out how can we use the culture that we have to create exercise for our people. So then if you get permission, you can use your songs, and you can use your language, you can collaborate with your language programs, and it's a win-win when you're able to do that. So that's kind of what we did, and how we did Pow Wow Sweat, and how we did the Hess life. It overall was to just incorporate our traditional foods and our traditional activity, because just like in many tribes, we hunted and gathered, so hunting, even if you looked at hunting, which we utilized a lot of our funding through Reach to be able to create access to helping people. We created a space where the men or women could bring their elk and deer and process them, or so that they would have lean meat to eat. And same with the salmon, a place to process that salmon. So it's just what we really try to do with our grant is think outside the box, because there were a lot of different Reach grantees. They were doing kind of doing the I don't know, I guess a lot were doing the fruit and vegetable stands are the vegetable RX dollars, and there were just a lot of things that we seen that like a majority of the reach grants were doing, but we wanted to be different. We wanted to reach our people where they could talk to where we were talking their language. And so if you work for a program where your objective is either cancer or health or whatever what's really important is that you collaborate with the tribal elders and the tribal language program, and all you have to be able to reach out beyond and think in a different, it's like you have to think differently in order to infuse culture. And you're not going to find the scientifically based programming because it's probably going to be unique to your tribe. So so that's kind of what we've done, and it's just been great. Like we've been able to we were invited to New York City to the National Museum, and we did some different programs there in New York, in Washington, D.C., in California. Our team presented at the National Unity Conference in Denver, Colorado, and we've just been able to go out and help communities as much as we can. So it's been an exciting time for our tribe. So I think I'm trying to think. So I think this is my last slide, and I don't know, were there any questions yet, Mike?
Thank you, LoVina. Yeah, so if folks have any questions, we'll take questions up until either the top of the hour or until we see that folks haven't really been asking questions. Also, just while folks are typing in their questions into the question box, make sure you type your questions into the question box on the lower right-hand corner of your screen, and then I'll ask the question aloud to LoVina. While folks are doing that, I'll give a plug for our next webinar coming up next week on Wednesday, October 16th at 3 p.m. It's titled We Don't Do Diets. And that'll be coming up here pretty soon. You can register for that webinar through keepitsacred.org, which is right here. And keep an eye on our social media. We'll have the links going out here pretty quick on that. Or you can just copy the link down that's at the bottom of the screen right there. One person.
And Mike,
yes.
To also mention that, so if the participants go to the Style Horse Collective, we have a lot of our videos on that website, and a lot of them are like little short digibites about fry bread, about about eating healthy, farmers market. We just have a whole series of little digibites onto the Style Horse Collective, and so people can maybe get ideas from there as well.
Awesome. And then we are going to be archiving the webinar at keepitsacred.org as well, right? And we'll have the 2 videos that were on here plus a link to the playlist that's on YouTube, I believe, along with several handouts. There are 3 handouts also that folks can download if you look at your go-to webinar control panel. There's 3 handouts along with a PDF of today's slide deck as well. This first person here asks if you can just talk a little bit about what powwows are and maybe just kind of go back to the beginning on what powwows are and what they mean to you, LoVina.
Okay, so powwows are nationwide throughout the United States and Canada. It's one of the gatherings that Native people go to, irregardless of what tribe you are. So in today, different tribes host powwows at different, and usually they're at the same time of year, same time every year. And so powwows can be small gatherings, or they can be like the Gathering of Nations, where there's 40,000 people and over 1,000 dancers. And so powwows are a way that our people, you know, there was a time when we couldn't dance at all. We couldn't wear feathers. We couldn't, like, it was banned from a lot of our tribes. But once the Indian Religious Freedom Act came about, we were able to practice our songs and dances. And powwows is kind of an intertribal way of dancing. So when you go to a powwow, there's intertribals where everybody can dance, and all the different outfits, like I don't know, Mike, if we can go back. So like all the different outfits, and I can explain some of them, but like the front dancer, she's a fancy dancer. And so a lot of women will dance fancy shawl. And then the girl behind her in the pink, Amani, is a jingle dress dancer. And then the boy behind Amani, Emmett, he's in a men's fancy dance outfit. And then the woman behind Emmett, in the hat, this one right here is a women's traditional dancer. And then on the other side of her in the war bonnet is a men's traditional dancer. And then again, Jonathan's fancy. So we don't have all of them, because there's like the men also have grass dancers, chicken dancers, and the women also have their Southern women traditional. So when you go to a powwow, all these different dancers come to the powwow and they dance whatever their style is. And that's what you'll see in the videos, is all the different styles of dancing that happen at a powwow. Does that help?
I think so. This person here, they just wanted to offer a compliment. What an awesome program. Um, and then this next person says, how can we acquire the powwow video? Did you have any details on that? If they wanted maybe a DVD or something sent directly to them?
Yeah, so if you would like a DVD, what we request from the Coeur d'Alene tribe is that you pay shipping. And otherwise, if you can pay shipping, the tribe will send the DVD. You don't have to pay for it. So you can contact our wellness center, and the phone number is 208-686-9355.
You want to repeat that one more time?
Yeah, 208-686-9355.
And that's for the Wellness Center, right?
Yeah, the Coeur d'Alene Tribal Wellness Center, our Marimn Health Wellness Center.
Awesome. This next person asks, if you're not native, is it considered disrespectful to dance a traditional dance?
You know, when we go to powwows, a lot of non-natives go out and dance. And if you're at an actual powwow, you know, you just want to be respectful of listening to when the announcer says intertribal, and that means everybody can dance. When we do Pow Wow Sweat in schools, we're showing all different races. This is our dances, and it's exercise. You know, when we put it out there, we're teaching this so you can learn how to, you know, it is teaches people how to dance, which, you know, it isn't I don't feel like it's disrespectful. I'm only one person though, not, you know, other people might have different points of view on that, but I don't feel like it's disrespectful.
And then this person here says, is the video We Shall Remain available on DVD? This person asks because they live in a rural area. Not all areas have access to probably high-speed internet.
We do not have We Shall Remain on DVD. The only way that you can access We Shall Remain is through the internet.
Okay. Do you have a website in mind or an email address that they could reach out to get it?
Well, no. Well, I mean, we just have the link to, and it's on
Okay.
the Style Horse Collective YouTube page.
Okay.
But I have seen people somehow were able to download it.
Okay.
I'm not really sure like how, but
So if
yeah.
folks go to our website at keepitsacred.org, we'll have a link to the YouTube video of the We Shall Remain video on our website anyways.
Yes, and that video, We Shall Remain, it won the American Indian Music Festival Best Music Video, and it also won Red Nation's Best Music Video.
That's awesome. That's fantastic. Well, we'll leave it open here for another couple minutes here. If anybody has any questions, please put them into the question box on the lower right-hand corner of your screen. Did you have anything that you wanted to add at all, LoVina?
Well, I just want to say thank you to all the participants. It's been exciting. I would really like. I'm excited to hear the feedback. This is because this is the first time I've ever done a webinar like this. So it was fun, and thank you for listening, and thank you for participating.
And we'll be sending out an evaluation link here within the next hour. So if folks want to go ahead and complete that for us, then that will help us have a better gauge on how we did today. And we'll be able to share that with LoVina as well. I don't see any more questions. So with that, I think it might be time to go ahead and wrap it up, LoVina.
Okay, thank you, Mike. I appreciate it. Lim lem chinchas Powwows telichas. Thank you from my heart.
Thank you very much, everybody, and have a great day.
Okay.